Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. So, today we're looking at Magplars. They have kind of fallen off the radar. Light armor, Magicka Templars are just not what they used to be. Everybody's wanted to say, here, take some medium armors and use some magic and let's slap it on a Templar, and then we're going to do some other weird stuff and jack the damage through the roof. It's all nice and dandy, but what about just good old-fashioned traditional Magplars? I'll tell you this much. In my opinion, Magplars are the most versatile character in the game as far as DPS goes. So I'm going to show you a couple of different setups. First one here. This is for maximum DPS. Maelstrom Perfected Inferno Staff, Infused, Weapon Damage Enchant. We're going to run 2 Deadly Daggers, Nurned Honed on the front hand with a Flame Damage Enchant, Charged on the back hand with a Poison Damage. And then for the jewelry, we have Deadly. Since this is purple, you want Infused. Remember, right now with this patch, if it's purple or less on the jewelry, you want Infused. If it's gold, you want Bloodthirsty. Spell damage enchants all the way down. We have Sororia Shoes, Sororia Breeches, Sororia Gloves, Sororia Robe, Nearneth Helm, Nearneth Arm Chops. And the reason you want these in medium is just because you're min-maxing. If you get them in light, you're perfectly fine. Now, the only thing about this setup is that you are going to be stuck. If you look on the ground underneath, you're going to see a circle form. This setup is really a trial setup where you are going to be fighting in one spot for an extended period of time. Next setup. We're going to swap Sororia out all the way down for a War Maiden. Nothing changes. It's just now, you can kind of move all over the place with it if you have to. You just move all over the place and lose a little bit of DPS running War Maiden, but you gain a lot of maneuverability. With Sororia, you are looking at hitting about 95k. With this setup with War Maiden, you're looking at hitting about 92, 93,000. So let's have a look at the skills real quick. You have Blockade of Fire. Now the reason we are doing this instead of Unstable Wall of Elements is because you get a 12-second duration, not 10. Because you've got a 10-second duration here, 20-second duration here. Well, this 12-second duration, you want it to match up with your Power of the Light, which is the Stam Morph. Now the reason that you want this to be a Stam Morph is because the Magicka Morph acts just a little bit differently. Your timing is slightly different, only slightly different, but the stamina morph of this works a lot better. Also, since you have a stamina ability here and a stamina ability here, it makes your sustain a lot better. And then we're going to run Flawless Dawnbreaker on the back end. And your rotation is really just 1, 2, drop your ulti, 3, 4, 5, bar swap back, jab until you hit 40%. At 40%, you start running Radiant Oppression in place of the jabs, and then at 35%, just stop. You no longer use Power of the Light, you're just going to use Radiant Oppression, Barb Trap, and reproc these whenever they come up. Now, let me show you another nice little trick I've picked up. Let's say you're in a dungeon where you have to move a lot and you're in a bit of a fight and you need an extra survivability. Okay, no problem. We're just going to swap that Sororia out for War Maiden. And then we're going to go in. We're going to grab Gaze of Sithis. And we are going to grab Slimecraw. Throw that on the shoulder. And you now have a character who has 19,000 resistances, nearly 3,000, well, an extra 1,000 health recovery, and, spell crit's a little bit lower, spell damage is a little bit lower, but guess what? You are now running 22, almost 23k health. This setup here with War Maiden will hit you about 85, 86,000 if you run the rotation. And then, finally, one last thing to show you is the Oaken Soul setup, since everybody loves these, and I have seen several Oaken Soul ring builds. If you're running Oaken Soul, you can run either Deadly Daggers, Nirnhoned on the front, Charged on the back, or you can run a Deadly Inferno Staff. Choice up to you. I prefer daggers just because you're going to get a little bit extra damage out of it. But if you're one of those people that you really want to run a stave with a Magicka character, go grab yourself a lightning or fire staff. You're still going to be pumping out damage. And your skills with the Oaken Soul setup, real simple. Instead, we're going to throw Ritual of Retribution here. We're going to keep Barb Trap, and that is the exact same thing. And your rotation is 1, 2, 3, Ritual, Jab. Again, once you hit 40%, drop the jabs for this, keep these up, proc Power the Light for another 5%. When you hit 35, it's 1, 2, 3. With War Maiden, you're hitting at about 81,000 with that setup. If you run Soroya on that setup, you're going to hit about 85 to 86,000. So, and we're going to swap this back out. Make sure to have a look at my light attack build setup, or light attack explanation video, to understand how all of this works together, because the thing about it is, even with Oaken Soul, if you decide to run that setup, you are going to need to hit your light attacks. If you're not hitting light attacks, you're not building. If you're not building DPS, then you're not hitting quite as hard. The more light attacks you hit in your rotation, the higher your DPS is going to be. One last thing, champion points for all the setups I have shown you so far are Wrathful Strikes, Deadly Aim, Master at Arms, and Biting Aura. And inside this, you need to get both branches of this tree here, and then all the other passives that you can as quickly as you can. Let's slide over here and look at the red tree. You want Boundless Vitality, Fortified, and Rejuvenation. And then your fourth one is Personal Preference or Situational. I tend to do Situational. Siphoning Spells, if I have a lot of ad killing I need to do and I need Sustain, that works really well. If I need to be a little bit tankier, let's go with Strategic Reserve. Add 30 health recovery for every 100 ultimate you have. And then let's have Spirit Mastery as well, just in case you need to do some extra rezzing. Since you're a Templar, you tack this onto the Templar's ability to already res quickly, and ooh boy, are you rezzing fast. The other day I did Vet Fanglair on hard mode. That boss at the end is a fight, I'll tell you that much. This one came in particularly handy in that fight, but then the other last night, or the other day, ended up trying and completing the no death run on Fanglair. So at that time I was running Strategic Reserve just to have some extra health recovery. The thing about Magplars is they have kind of fallen off the radar. Everybody wants to stick some medium armor on them and basically turn them almost into a Stamplar. I personally am not a fan of doing that. If you want to run a Stamplar, run a Stamplar. I have a essentially 3.5, 4 button rotation for a Stamplar that will get you about 82k sitting on my channel right now. For versatility, Magplar is definitely one of the best ways to go. And just to show y'all how quick and simple this rotation is, I'm going to run it one time for you. So if you want to skip to the end, this should take about 3 minutes. Well, not 3 minutes, I'm not hitting 120,000. About 3 minutes and 40 seconds, give or take. So, oh, and if you're wondering, one other thing, I run Barrier on my back bar just because it's nice and safe. So, We're going to run up here. We're going to pre-buff with this. We're going to bar swap, pop our potion, light attack, boom, light attack, boom, 1 and 2 and 3, and then drop your ulti, and then stab, and then pop that back off, and 1 and 2. I am not wearing Sororia. I am wearing War Maiden. Huh? Remember, keep all your dots procced. After that first free buff, you don't really need to worry about it again. You only need to worry about rune focus if you're having a sustain issue. Which this build, fortunately, does not have that. And I just straight up missed that one. That's the other advantage to a Magplar. They are very forgiving in their rotations. If you screw up or miss one thing, that's okay. Just go back and re-proc it at your earliest opportunity. There we go. We're going to run down the line, hit all 3 dots, drop the ulti. One way to look at it is really and truly all of the skills that we are currently running are really just designed to get us to about 35% where we can just become a Beamplar. And that's the last time we will power the light. And then at about 15%, you're going to drop everything but You're going to drop everything except Wall of Elements, Barbed Trap, and Ritual of Retribution. We're going to proc that. Proc that one more time. Yes, we are over procking, but that's because we are not going back to that bar. And at 10%, we are just going to try and beam our way down to nothing. Ignore that ulti, and there you go, 91,000. It's all about timing and light attacks, folks. And like I said, if you want to run the Oaken Soul setup, which is just War Maiden with, you're just gonna throw the Oaken Soul on, go up here, throw on Deadly Shoulders, go to your skills, and swap that out for Ritual. And your rotation on the Oaken Soul is 1 and 2 and 3 and ulti drop and pop your potion and stab. And then beam. Now yes, I hit that also with all the buffs on the target dummy, so that's going to hit extra hard. But By the way, if you ever see someone do that in a video, they're intentionally cheesing it by hitting the target dummy, then going over to the precursor and saying, hey, look how much damage I'm doing. They're not really doing damage. They're just getting a whole lot of extra buffs from the target dummy. I'm going to burn out the last of this one just to get us out of the video. Alright, folks. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Hope this is helpful. And check out the dedicated video for the my Oaken Soul Magplar build. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Feel free to hit like or subscribe if you found this helpful. I am trying to build up a viewer base. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.